Right, absolutely. I thought that was important to include just to give people an idea of the way society was at that time. We're talking 1967, and suddenly you have, six or seven black professional athletes coming to town. And Indianapolis had not had that before. There had been no black players here in the 30s, 40s, or 50s when we had professional basketball teams. And we have a minor league baseball team, and they would have black players, of course, but they would come and go. They'd only be here for the summer months. And, that wasn't a big deal. They'd go find an apartment, I guess, somewhere. But, for the Pacers, when guys would come in, the black players had difficulty finding housing, as strange as that seems today, and Indianapolis is not a southern city, but, southern Indiana, I kind of consider to be the South. And there was certainly a lot of discrimination here. So, somebody would go to an apartment that was either nearing the end of construction or had just opened and be turned away saying they had no room for them. And this happened with a few different players, and the people from the Pacers had to intervene and get them housing, and or go to somebody who owned the apartment complex and get it done that way. But black people were almost routinely being turned away from apartment complexes at that time if they were not in an area of the city where blacks were living. And I told you before, I lived a block away from Roger Brown. The neighborhood I lived in, that I was born into, was 100% white. And by the time I was, 12 years old, when the Pacers were formed, was about 95% black. And that's how, the black population was spreading and people needed housing. So you have these pro athletes coming in, trying to simply to get an apartment complex and being turned away. And it's hard to believe that, but that's the reality of the way things were then.